What's up, YouTube? We're going to be going live in a minute talking about the recent market hysteria, Robinhood, Gamestop, AMC, all the craziness. So we're just going to give it a few minutes, then we're going to get into the topic. It's about, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning here in Michigan, and I just couldn't sleep. And I was like, I want to get online and talk about this stuff. Then the craziest thing happened is that my computer was like freezing and not working for some odd reason. So I'm like, okay, the world must need to hear this message or whatever we're going to talk about tonight with all these crazy stocks. So I figured let's talk about it. So yeah, let's give it a second. I'm gonna bring the beat back in, then we'll get into it. Let me know where you're chiming in from if you're hanging out with me at 1 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time is what it is here. Let me see. Let me give you a sweet beat. There it is. Joseph says, oh, here we go. Bring in the emojis. Joseph says AMC going to 10x. Richard said, need your insight on this for sure. So I'm gonna share my thoughts. Hugo says go to sleep. Nah, man, I'm hanging out. Aaron in the building. What's up, man? Kenny J, German Zonko, coach working late. I'm just in that mood where I'm like, let's go talk to my people. I knew if I needed to talk to anybody, the traders would be up. You know what I'm saying? The YouTubers would be up. Lovely Bay, peace and love. What's up? If you're just tuning in, we're going to be getting into the topic in a second. AMC, Robinhood, GameStop, all the things. Ken J checking in from Brooklyn. Richard from Texas. Jose, San Diego, welcome to the party. Newark in the building. Douglas, what's going on, man? DJ Brown. Nah, says, what's the track or beat name? You know what? I don't even know, man. I just download, I got this music subscription and I download like the royalty-free music. And then I just let the beat ride when we going live. Let me see. Let me bring this one in. This is my joint too. It's called Calling Me, I think. Here you go. JX say money never sleeps. I agree. Kiana say, you know we up, we can't sleep. Checking in from Pittsburgh. Man, that's what I'm talking. Man, hey, shout out to DC with the super chat. Hold on. We gotta bring the horns in for that. I honestly think that's my first super chat ever. You know what I'm saying? So my man DC, I appreciate that. First super chat ever. Let's get into it. I think that's enough to kick it off. That super chat was like, yeah, let's get into the content. All right. So let me share my screen. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. So boom, there it is. That's funny to see our ad right there. But let's talk about the madness, guys. So GameStop, let's first start with this headline. GameStop AMC stocks bounce back after Robinhood says it will allow limited buying on Friday. So unless you've been living up under a rock, you know what's been going on with these stocks. They've been just going crazy. And if you don't understand what shorting is, let me bring out my drawing tool and let me break down my theory just on what's going on. And just want to talk about, do you think it's right for them to be limiting people's trades? Is it a conspiracy theory out there? What's going on? So let's break it down for those who don't understand shorting or even know what that means. My buddy Alex Navas in the building. What's up, Alex? We're about to break down shorting here. And talk about it. So let's talk about it. I got the screen on. let's break down shorting. So for those who don't understand what's going on, you got these stocks, and I'm going to draw this kind of platform. You got these stocks like GameStop, for example. All right. Ticker symbol GME. This is the ticker. And so you got these stocks that at some point, because they've been, if you think about the world of movies or video games, for one, everyone's Netflix. And then you got the pandemic, everybody's stuck at home. So you're not going to the movies. With respect to video games, you now have these consoles to where really they've gotten really good at allowing you to buy the game directly from the Microsofts of the world, from the Sonys of the world, and basically you download the game. So there's really not a big need for the middleman like the GameStops anymore. And then people are buying and selling their consoles online through eBay, Craigslist, Facebook. So it really kind of cuts out the middleman like a GameStop. So let's just say GameStop was trading at some point at $400. So here's what's happening. And this is $0 down here. And this is going to be time on this graph. So we're going to just break down shorting first. Then we're going to go back to the headlines, right? So you got these stocks, let's just say 300, 200, 100, this is 50, and this is 0. So what's happening with the shorts, or if you don't understand what shorting is, people are borrowing stock right here. So let's say they borrowed some stock and they said, I'm going to sell you GameStop for 400, but they don't actually own GameStop. So that's why they're borrowing it. And the people that are borrowing it are hoping over time the stock goes down to about 0. They think it's going to go out of business, all right? But the stock didn't go out of business. The stock went down to about, this is like $10, okay? And so what happens is right around here, I'm going to make this like a 0 or a little dot, right? So right around here, let's just call this January, 15th or something like that. January 15th, 2021. And so roughly when these stocks are supposed to go out of business, the people who borrowed the stock and sold it to somebody else at $400, they basically never expected to have to buy the stock and give it to the person. So let me just put it this way. All right. For those who don't understand, if I borrowed some stock at $400, I don't actually own it, and I sell it to you and you give me $400 for it, but I haven't given you the stock yet. But I say, I got it, I can get it. And you're like, all right, just as long as you can get it, I own GameStop at $400 a share. And I'm hoping GameStop go all the way down to 0. So you're never actually going to get the stock, because by the time you ask me for the stock, it'll be worthless, or I can buy it at $10 and give it to you, but you've already given me $400 for it. That's the whole game of shorting stocks. You borrow something and sell it at a higher price, and you hope the price drops so that you can buy it at a cheaper price and actually give it to the person who gave you $400 for it last week, 2 weeks, a year ago, whatever the case may be. All right. Here's the problem. I guess some short lists got out that, hey, we're short these stocks. And some people basically started buying the stock up. And so what happens is it's called a short squeeze. So the people who shorted the stock or sold or promised the stock to all the people at 400 are like, oh shit, it's not going to 0. It's going to 15. It's going to 20. It's going to 30. It's going to 40. So let's go back to the chart. So now these people are like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't cuss. Oh, shoot, I'm going to change the word to shoot. It's at 50. Okay. Oh, shoot, it's at 100. So all the people over here who borrowed it and kept selling it to people, then look, somebody else borrowed some more at 300 and was like, I'll sell you GameStop at 300. Somebody else borrowed it at 200. Somebody else borrowed it at 100 and was like, I'll sell you GameStop at 100. So all these people piled in, borrowing the stock that they never owned, selling it to people at all these prices. Well, when they didn't go out of business and the list got out and people started to basically buy the stock, as the stock price rises 50, 100, 200. These people who borrowed it at 50 are like, oh shit, this is too expensive. I can't get it for cheaper than 50. Let me buy it at 200 and just close out this bad bet that I made at 50 bucks. I sold somebody at 50 and I really didn't own it. That was a great idea when it was at $10. Now that it's at 100, I need to hurry up and buy it back. Well, they buy it for 100 or 200. Well, the people who shorted it at 100 are like, oh shoot, it's at 200. I need to buy it back now. But these people are like, no, you can buy it back at 250, 250, 300. Okay, oh shoot, the people at 200 are like, okay, it's at 250. I need to buy it back. They're like, you can buy it from me at 300. The people who, they're like, I just got to get out of this. They buy it back. These people who shorted it at 300 are like, oh shoot, it's at 350. How high can it go? Oh, it's 400. I need to buy it back. Now the people at 400 are like, oh shoot, what's going to happen? And so here's where it potentially, hopefully that makes sense. If that makes sense, like give me a thumbs up or let me know in the comments. So here's the problem now. So here's the new problem. The problem is companies like Robinhood said, let's click in and read it. Robinhood was like, you can't buy this stock anymore, okay? And I don't know if they're going to explain it here, but basically the Robinhood owners are like, you can't buy the stock anymore because it's too risky. Here's the problem though, guys. If you just bought GameStop on its way back up, if you bought it at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and it's at 400, who are they to, first of all, they're saying now, oh, you can't buy it because it's too risky. But who are they to determine what's too risky? It wasn't too risky to allow the millionaires and the billionaires to short the stock and borrow it and sell it to us, right? And they thought they could fool us and sell it to us at 400, 300, 200, 100 because the company's going out of business. So what I'm curious is, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments or whatever, or live or in the comments if you're watching the replay. Why is it that Robinhood or these brokers didn't step in and say, you know what, it's too risky for you to be borrowing this stock and selling it to the general public, hoping the company go out of business? So now that it's reversed and the little guy can actually jump in and make some money, because now the billionaires got to cover their shorts because they were wrong or some list got leaked. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. And I think Robinhood, I think there's going to be lawsuits out about it, because here's the problem now. If I bought the stock at 10, 20, 50, or 100, and Robinhood says, they came out yesterday and said, we're not going to allow any more trading on this stock. We're going to pause trading. Well, how do I now get out of the stock if you won't allow other people to buy it? So I get stuck holding the bag. I can't. You need a buyer and a seller to get out of a stock. So if I'm going to sell it to get out, and you're telling the whole group of people that help push the price up that, you know what, we're not going to allow anyone else to buy this. Okay, how do I get out? How do I sell my stock and get out if no one is left to buy it because y'all shutting it down? That in itself should be illegal if you really think about it. So I think it's kind of shady that they can just wake up and say, like, they can determine what's risky for the little guy or for the average American. It's a publicly traded company. If it's a publicly traded company and I have a brokerage account, I should be able to buy it, right? Or I should be able to sell it. So I don't know, man. I think it's just weird. Like, oh, all of a sudden the government is your friend. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, the brokerage account wants to look out for you. Well, how are you looking out for people? The price is going up. Let the little people make some money. So the question, or the conspiracy question, is, are the Robinhoods and the brokerage's account really in the bed with the hedge funds and the billionaires? And did their billionaire friends call them and say, hey, I got caught. They leaked my list. I need you to do something. Okay. Did they call their friends and was like, look, I need you to shut down trading at least for 24 hours and allow me to get out. Here's my thought, because look at what happened though. So look at what happened. If you look at GameStop after hours, GameStop, first of all, intraday it fell 153. Now after hours is back up $118. Okay. So how did GameStop's price fall and you weren't allowing the little guy to sell to anybody to get out? So I wasn't able to get out. Now I'm down $153. Now you like, okay, y'all can trade it again come Friday. Now it's up 118. So who was able to get out at the higher price? And then who was also able to get back in to bid it back up to $118? I don't know. Just an interesting question. Look at the stock, guys. This thing ran all the way up to 500. And the Robinhood and the brokers basically said, you can't participate in this run up. And if you bought down here, you're kind of stuck because we shut it down and won't let new buyers come in. So who am I going to sell it to if there's no new buyers that can come in? So I don't know. That's kind of crazy. So here, let me pose another question to you guys. Because this is very interesting. All right. My man DC, you on fire tonight. DC with the super chats. I always like to pause for super chats because I never get super chats. He said, because they borrowed too much and they didn't want to lose their cash, they even lower the price on the stock you try to sell so you walk away with less. I know. Listen, DC has been crazy when you really think about what's going on. If you try to get out, they like, nah, you can't get out. We paused trading on it. Then they said no new buyers. Well, if you can't let any new buyers in, how am I supposed to unload? And then who is unloading? Because somebody sold and drove the price down and then bought back in and drove the price back up. Is that the hedge funds trying to make up for all the money they lost over the last week? So it's very interesting. Cosplay, I don't even know what dog coin is, so I'm not even sure. But we'll take some. Keep the comments coming. I love it. So here's the other part of the conspiracy that I'm wondering. I done lost my thought. What was I going to say about the conspiracy? You got Robinhood, it's up, it's down. They paused the brokerage account from allowing the little guy to trade. Here's the other conspiracy I wanted you guys to think about. So we was talking about this inside of our elite program. And here's what's interesting. There's companies that will release a hedge fund that'll release their list and say, we're shorting this stock. Here's what I want you to think about. How come these guys got a short squeeze when this happened? Okay, if these people keep talking about Doji, I'm going to start blocking people because I'm assuming these are spam comments asking about these whack Bitcoins that keep popping up here. So we're going to be blocking people in a minute. Yeah, we got to block these people. I can clearly see this is some BS happening. That's what I get for going live on YouTube at night without my team to moderate. Oh, are these real comments? Because if this looks like fake stuff, I'm gonna shut this stuff down. I'm gonna shut these comments down, or I'm gonna block the people that's typing it. All right, they say it's a cryptocurrency. Okay. I don't know what that's about. My man Red Gorillas, thanks for the super chat. It says Nokia going to Pluto. So we'll pull up Nokia. We'll pull up some stocks. Okay, here's my point though. Here's the point I wanted to make for all of you that's sticking with me. And if you're watching the replay, I want you to think about this. There are companies that release. Let me see if I can find one. For example, there are companies that release their short list that says, oh, we're taking a new position in a short in the company. Well, my question is, I believe that's a fake. I think that's fake news or fake reports, because why is these guys getting short squeezed because there's Wall Street bets on Reddit or whatever? Why are these guys getting a short squeeze? Because people found out what they are shorting. Well, if it's such a big secret and you don't want people to know what you're shorting because this can happen, then would you consider the reports fake that come out when a hedge fund says we just took a new short position in this company? Well, why in the world would you release that information? I personally believe that hedge funds will release a paid, a paid piece inside the Wall Street Journal, CBS Market Watch, whatever. I think they release a paid piece and say, tell people we're shorting this stock. So what happens? The little guy who's uninformed says, maybe I should get out of this stock because the big hedge fund is shorting it, and surely they know better than me. And so what happens is everybody panics and sells the stock, but guess what happens? I think the hedge fund comes in and buys the stock up because really they needed to get in the stock at a better price. And so they release a article saying we're shorting these stocks. When I think in reality, what they really wanted to do was buy the stock at a lower price. So you and I, or the little guy, panic, sell their stock, and then they come in and they buy it. Just something to think about, because if why wouldn't these guys want their short list to get out? So what you're really telling you, think about what they're really telling you, guys. I want you to really think about it. The people who are really shorting stocks don't want you to know what stocks they're shorting. So when you see these lists come out that says publicly, I'm taking a brand new short position in this company, you got to ask yourself, why in the hell would they tell all of us that? You know what I'm saying? Why in the world would they tell us that? I'm telling you, my man German, thank you for the super chat. I'm really trying to get you guys to think, though. I'm really trying to get you guys to think about this, because what happens is the amateur investor, you listen to TV, you listen to news, you listen to the media. And so when the media says, oh, this big hedge fund took a short position, you like, oh, maybe I should get out of this stock because it's going down. Then all of a sudden it goes up. In your head, you like, these people who shorting it are getting killed. When the reality is they probably wanted the price to drop so that they can buy into it. Because we are literally seeing what happens if their true list of what they're shorting gets out to the public. You're seeing what could happen. So a hedge fund, from what I can tell, would never ever release that information. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. Interesting. All right, let's go back to the charts, though. Let's go back to the charts. Let's look at AMC, though. All right. So if you think about the fundamentals of AMC and you look at it, nobody's going to the movies right now. Even if you were to go to the movies, nobody's releasing any new movies. They haven't been recording them. Nobody wants to release their new movie under COVID and have it do worse, because unless they got access to Netflix or some type of streaming deal, they would never release some of their blockbuster movies right now. They're going to wait. I can't even believe I said blockbuster. That's still a term, right? And so you see this short squeeze on AMC, but then the reality is the next day crashed, because I think people have to come to their senses. And when they come to their senses, they're basically going to wake up and realize that how in the heck is AMC worth $21 for a company when no one's going to the movies in the middle of a pandemic? You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. My man Slinky, thanks for the super chat. Slinky says, I just started in the day trading game. One of my stocks did 1K in the oil and gas industry. I did get into the Reddit list a bit, AMC, BlackBerry, yeah, BB was one of them too. BlackBerry, come on, guys. Like, let's be real. BlackBerry ain't had a hit phone since the iPhone came out, right? I mean, let's just go back and look at BlackBerry in its glory days, right? We can go back to 2008. You know what happened in 2008? The first iPhone, no, somewhere back here is when the iPhone dropped. Let's Google it. Let's figure it out. When was the first iPhone released? June 2007. This is why it's important to pay attention to trends. First iPhone introduced June 2007, right? Go look at BlackBerry. If you go, let me zoom back out. If you go back, what is this? Guys, this is 2007, November, 5 months later. What the stock do? Started to feel the pressures of iPhone. Really start getting a lunch ate by iPhone. Then you got Android entering the market. Okay, so BlackBerry ain't had a hit in innovation since the iPhone came out. So why in the world do we think BlackBerry all of a sudden is the new technology giant that's going to take us to the moon? Right? So what's the lesson here? Don't be the sucker buying right here. Don't be the sucker. Okay? Because here's the scary part of what's happening right now. And this is what I really want to talk to people about is there's a lot of amateur traders entering the market right now who got lucky, who think they know how to invest now. This is the next scary wave of selling that's going to happen. You got a bunch of amateurs, a bunch of people who really don't know about investing, really don't know how to research companies, who all got lucky. I see it all the time. AMC, we getting them bags, we making money. Who's in Gamestop with me, right? You got a lot of people who actually don't know what they're doing now, and they're coming to the table and they're gambling. Okay, they're gambling. And so if you made money in any of this garbage, you got to take your money and run. Okay, don't press your luck. It's like sitting at the blackjack table and you just had a full house, or you had 21, or you had 20. And it's like 20 is a good number, and you tap on the table and be like, hit me with another card. It's like, fool, you got 20, just stay. Take your money, go home. Most people taking their money, they go say, hit me. Then they go bust. Then they go over to the craps table and try to win their money back. I'm telling you, don't be a fool. Don't also think you're smarter than what you really are, because you're not. All right. If you got lucky with some of this stuff, now take the money, go get some real education. Whispers Only says Goldman Sachs puts out fake news all the time just to buy low when the price drops. Here's the thing. I think what most people don't understand is that you can buy these articles. Okay. Now it's not widely spread that you can do this. You can literally pay an analyst for a buy rating. You can say, how much does it cost to do me a buy rating and write an article up on my company, right? You can literally cut a check and be like, here's a couple $1,000, like, give me the buy rating. You know what I'm saying? And the analyst will write it up. Just received the buy from, now I won't name an analyst because I'm not trying to say all analysts do this, but it'll be like, just received the buy rating from such and such analyst. And so, unfortunately, here's what the uninformed do. It just got a buy rating from such and such chop shop analyst. Surely we should buy some of this stock, not even realizing, like, man, they just paid for that. They just paid for that. So it's crazy. Let me check out some of these comments. Asawaga says exactly. Chop says BB BlackBerry has a future because of an Amazon partnership and EV technology. Look, okay, it's so much going on in the EV space. We can talk EV. I don't know if BlackBerry has a future, but I would say the chart does not believe it, right? I mean, ain't nobody bought nothing BlackBerry for the longest. Does anybody even use their servers anymore? David, they say, bro, everyone knows these companies aren't worth the money. It's a play. Get the money. This ain't about logic. per se. This is fundamentally a turn the tide to get rich play. It is, but we got to be careful when they're shutting down trading and they're pausing trading. They're saying you can't buy anymore, which means who can you sell it to get out of it? And so I believe in the end, it's kind of like a game of hot potato, right? They're passing this hot potato around, and at the end, the music is gonna stop, and somebody gonna be left holding this hot potato. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Bring the DJ horns in. Somebody gonna get left holding this hot potato, and it's probably more than likely going to be the average trader because everybody probably jumping in thinking they can get rich quick, and because they giving in, jumping in thinking they can get rich quick, the hedge funds looking to unload to somebody. All right, they're not stupid, and so somebody go get left holding the bag. Listen, all you need to happen is for earnings to come out. When is earnings? Let's take a look. When is earnings on these companies? I don't even know. When is earnings? Okay, so BlackBerry go report earnings March 26th. What about AMC? AMC reports earnings March 4th in a month. How about GameStop? GameStop reports earnings April 1st, okay? Once these companies reports earnings, it's like reality. You know what earnings is like, guys? Here's the best analogy I can give you. Earnings is like the football or the basketball player signing that $10 million check, buying a Lamborghini, big house, going out partying, spending all their money. And then at the end of the year, earnings is like they go to their tax consultant, they file their taxes, and then reality hits. And they like, do you realize out of that 10 million, you spent 8 million, but you owe 4 million in taxes? And it's like, oh shit, I'm broke. I'm not a millionaire anymore. And you just injured yourself and your team released you from the roster, right? So you're not even in the league no more. That is what earnings is going to be like for these stocks. The reality is GameStop's going to release earnings and be like, we got to close more stores. We haven't sold any video games and nobody's buying our consoles. And you're going to be left with a $400 or $200 or $300 stock that's going to go back to what it was worth before all this started, which is what? It's going to go back down here to about $7, $10. All right. It's going to come right back down to what it was worth before this whole shenanigans started. All right. That is what earnings is going to be like for these companies. And that's going to be the sobering reality for the people who are left holding the bag when these stocks come back down. You know what I'm saying? Red Gorilla says, maybe hoping for another 2008 infinity squeeze. You know, these squeezes aren't healthy for the market though, man, because part of the reason they say some of the rest of the market is selling off is because some of these hedge funds have to sell some of the good companies that they do own because they got to raise capital to cover this short hedge. So that's a whole nother interesting part to the market. And so you may be in some stocks that are selling off and you're thinking, is it time to get out? Is the market bubble coming? But really, it might just be the natural rotation of people trying to raise cash and cover their shorts over here because they were over leveraged inside of the inside of these AMCs and these GameStop stocks. You know what I'm saying? Chop Deck says, regardless of the Reddit hype or whatever, BB does have a future if you look at things they're doing in the background. I'm okay. I you can roll with BlackBerry if you want. I'm gonna stay away from them. I don't. I can't stick with BlackBerry. um. So that's my thoughts. Freed Mind said, "What do you say? This guy who actually started the GME thing, bought his option in 2019, and have been holding it ever since. The shorts got over 100%. People started to pump it because of the high float. He was up 50 million yesterday. Crazy. This is speculation trading. Richard. It is. It's all speculation, right? And it's kind of like Bitcoin. So if anybody wants to know what it's like to trade Bitcoin, this is what it's like. This is this is it. Okay. So riddle me this. Riddle me this. The SEC, everybody's all getting concerned. Like, we're gonna look into this trading on GameStop. Like, why? Why everybody all interested in this stuff? How come y'all wasn't looking into it when Donald Trump was sending tweets, driving the market down and up, probably texting his best friends like, I'm about to send a tweet out? Like, why y'all wasn't looking into that? Because I feel like that was more market manipulation than anything. When President Trump was former president, let me, I need some soap, clean my mouth out. Former president, wasn't that market manipulation when he would tweet? I remember in one day, Trump tweeted, we're going to block TikTok. We're doing this and we're doing that. We're blocking the he was like, we're blocking this. We're removing Alibaba. I don't know. It was like all these Chinese stocks. So all this stuff dropped. Then the same minute, he's like, we're interested in talking. We're not going to block them yet. Then they went back up. I'm like, dude, he knew those tweets would drive the market up and down. By 3 o'clock today, we're slapping another tariff on China. Y'all remember that? He knew that stuff would drive the market down. Then after the market tanked, he'd be like, well, we're not going to put the tariff on just yet. We're going to see if we're going to give him another 2-3 weeks, see if President Xi wants to talk. If that wasn't market manipulation, I don't know what is. So now, all of a sudden, all the regulators, everybody want to get interested in GameStop. Why y'all wasn't interested in Trump tweeting and seeing if that was market manipulation? Here's another thing. I wonder why they weren't interested in if this was market manipulation. So you got the tweets from Trump driving the market up and down. To me, that looked more like market manipulation than this whole GameStop thing. But if you take the whole GameStop thing, well, that's the biggest one, right? It happened on a lot of other companies. But if you think about market, what is market manipulation though? Like because it's moving faster than you think it should, it's being manipulated by the market. I don't know. It's an interesting concept, right? My man Winston Johnson in the building. What's going on, sir? Brad said, how do I feel about Apple? I mean, Apple's a good company, but this is about the Robinhoods of the world, the AMC, the GMEs, right? I mean, Apple's a good company. So Apple don't even deserve to be in the same conversation with these cats because Apple obviously sells a real product. Apple has service revenue, an app store, physical computers. They have a real legitimate business that's doing good regardless of the pandemic, okay? And so Apple don't even deserve to be in the same space as these guys. The real conversation for tonight is, number one, what is shorting and why are these guys getting squeezed? Number two, the conspiracy theory around shorting, because if this is what can happen when your shorts are revealed, then there should be a conspiracy when big hedge funds comes out and say, I'm shorting this company. We just clearly saw there's no incentive for a hedge fund to tell you what they're shorting. So shouldn't it be illegal for the ones who do come out and say they're shorting, or they buy ratings, or they buy analyst rating to move the market? Like, how come they're not investigating that? So I think some shadiness is going on, right? And everybody wants to be all about the little guy now. Like, come on, man. Y'all don't care about the little guy. Please. Y'all never cared about the little guy. Never. Right? They always want to tell you they trying to help you. Really? Now that you can finally get paid off some of this stuff, rocketing sky high, they want to pause the market. They want to stop you from trading. They want to halt you from buying it. Like, come on, man. And y'all, they never been about the little guy. So just wake up, people. This is why you got to get educated about how the game works. Because those who know how it works are getting paid. Those who don't are go get played. And they go get played because they go buy at these ridiculous prices because your buddy didn't text you like, dude, we got to get in the stock. And what's going to happen is reality at some point, it's going to set in. and these stocks are going to go back to the price that they were, which is basically nothing, probably even worse. Okay. They probably going to go back down even worse. All right. Um, so let me see. M Trey says, "Shall I close my GameStop, bro? If you haven't taken profits on that, you tripping. You tripping. If Robinhood goes bank, so Ross said, if Robinhood goes bankrupt because of this, do you lose your money? No, it's going to be backed by the Security and Exchange Commission, which means it's backed by the government. So no, they have insurance and they're probably FDIC insured. Let me see. I'm just going to Dr. Google, but I believe Robinhood is FDIC insured because they have to be. Brokerage customers who opt into cash management, blah, blah. I'm not going to read. Oh, I'm not even sharing my screen. I just Googled. Yeah, so Robinhood is a member of the SIPC, which protects securities customers, its members up to 500,000, including 250,000 for claims cash. So Robinhood is going to be okay, or should I say, your money is going to be okay. They're not going to. First of all, Robinhood is not at stake of going out of business here. The only thing Robinhood is going to have a problem with is if they bring a class action lawsuit against them for not allowing people to trade the stock for a day. Who are you to come in and say, I can't trade? I could have got out when it was at 300. Now I then fell like 150, 200 bucks. Now you're like, okay, you guys can trade again Friday. It's like, hold on. That was some BS. So I think you're going to see some class action lawsuits, which means they'll probably get slapped with a big fine or they'll settle out of court. But I don't think they're at risk of going out of business. And even if they were, they can't just go out of business and keep your money because they don't own your money. You own stock in a company. You don't own stock in Robinhood. So, you know, that's nothing you got to worry about there. David said, true, it's a gamble, but it's paying off. If you lose, you lose. It's like that in fundamental stock trading, maybe less all the time. It's just a gamble. Same game, sped up. Yeah, what people are doing right now is a gamble because you're basically speculating if you can buy it tomorrow and if it can go up one more time so you can get out, right? And so I want to pose a question to you guys. Here's the question I want to pose to you guys, right? The question I want to pose to you is, man, these comments are coming quick. But the question I want to pose to you guys is, how come if GameStop, AMC, Bed Bath and Beyond, BlackBerry, all these stocks can get short squeezed, run up and down, people can speculate. How is that different from what people are doing on Bitcoin? Like, how come they're not stopping you from trading Bitcoin? How come they're not halting the Bitcoin market? How come they're not saying nobody else can buy Bitcoin? Am I making sense? Because Bitcoin is 100% speculation. It's not even a real currency. It's the idea that of a digital currency. It's the idea that it could get implemented and people will want to exchange currency. So how come Nancy Pelosi and all these people are like, we're going to look into this GameStop stuff. We're going to look into this Reddit forum. What the hell y'all doing? Why y'all worried about Reddit when people are blatantly trading a random Bitcoin that clearly ain't got no value? Like, how is this any different? To me, that's just preposterous. So y'all worried about people trading a real publicly traded company and y'all mad because it's going up and down too fast. I shouldn't say mad. Y'all confused why it's going up and down too fast of a real company. It's a publicly traded company. People have a brokerage account that allows them to buy stocks in publicly traded companies. But y'all go shut it down, pause it, halt it for a day. At least Robinhood did. I think a couple other people did. But y'all blatantly let people buy and trade Bitcoin. Ethereum. I don't even know what Ethereum is. That just sound like some stuff that killed Superman. Kryptonite, Ethereum. It just sound like some poison that Superman took. But y'all will blatantly let them trade that stuff. However, we can't trade GameStop. Man, gone with that BS. We should all, man, gone. I wish we could just throw a tomato or something at these cats. Right. Anyway, all right. What else? So those were my thoughts for the night, man. Teddy said Janet Yellen, Janet Yellen made money from the hedge funds being hurt this year. Hey, just bringing the horns in. Make sure y'all woke. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Hit them emojis. I think we should go live more often. Call it like the midnight live stream or something. This is actually kind of fun. Bass one said, because it's not about that for them. They got stuck holding the bag, and we're the ones that are supposed to be holding it. True. MC says, man, MC, listen, okay? For anybody, here's the thing about Bitcoin, right? Here's the thing about Bitcoin for all my Bitcoin babies out there. I have never met a person, everybody who tells me it's all about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is this, Bitcoin is that. Here's what's funny. I haven't met one person who has actually pulled money out of their Bitcoin account. I haven't met one person. All of these Bitcoin millionaires, Bitcoin billionaires, I remember my little cousin was like, I'm up $30,000 in Bitcoin. I was like, pull it out. He was like, I can't pull it out. I'm like, what you mean you can't pull it out? Sell it right now. He like, I can't. Then you not up $30,000. Okay? Like, I don't know who sold you guys on this Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying Bitcoin doesn't have, forget Bitcoin, the actual coin. I'm not saying digital currency itself doesn't have a place. I mean, it's kind of like a credit card, right? So I'm not saying there's not a place for a digital currency. But if you're telling me that $1 American is worth 3,000 Bitcoins, or should I say, I can give you $1 American and you saying, oh, that's worth about $3,000 in Bitcoin. Really? Okay. And so that Bitcoin can the next day go up to $4,000. So are you telling me, or it could go up to 6,000? I'm just using that as an example. So are you telling me I can send all that out and get $2 American now just overnight? So if the Bitcoin went up that much, then shouldn't the American dollar have went up that much as well? Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Listen. Here's the thing at the end of the day. Here's the thing at the end of the day about my Bitcoin babies. I want one of you Bitcoiners who swear by it to just do a live video. Show me you buying Bitcoin. More importantly, show us you selling it and pulling out and get real cash. You do that, I'll be a believer. All right? Shoot me the video of it, okay? You're like, oh, somebody bought a watch with Bitcoin. I don't believe what I see online. Show me a person. Show me where they can go transfer the Bitcoin back into cash money. That's what I want to see. I have not seen that yet. All right. Show me that and I'll be interested. I haven't seen one they talk about the Bitcoin wallet, all this stuff. I have not seen one person turn over real cash. Yes, I'm serious. I've not seen one person turn over real cash and turn it back over to cash in their pocket. Right? They go, oh, hey, I love it. All the Bitcoin babies are like, download Coinbase, Cash App. Here's the thing though. This isn't about being right or being wrong, okay? So don't confuse it. Don't confuse being right and being wrong. This is about being rich. This is about having money. Okay. So if Bitcoin works, great. Great for you. But I know for sure that stocks and options put real money into my real pocket. I know for a fact that that real money, they accept it at the dealership. They accept it at the bank. They accept it when I pay off my house. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Lance says he's drunk. No, I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm trading real cash, real money. Here's what I love too. And this is turning into a Bitcoin conversation. But no, I don't want to make it into a Bitcoin conversation. But here's what's interesting though. What I find interesting about people who trade Bitcoin is most people who trade Bitcoin have never invested in their life, but now they are financial experts on currency exchange, new technology, and the future of where money is going. I always thought that was interesting. You'd be like, do you buy stocks or options? You're like, nah, I ain't never bought a stock. Like, do you even know how to balance your checkbook? They usually be like, nah. But Bitcoin? Let me tell you about the coin though. This is why you should have it, and it's going to be the future. So I don't know. That's just my take on the Bitcoin babies though. So, but listen, dude, I'm not assuming. This is every Bitcoin person I've ever talked to. This is every Bitcoin person I've ever talked to. They've never pulled out cash. They've never shown any real money. They've never ever even invested in anything. So no, I've never invested in Bitcoin. I'm not even going to entertain investing in Bitcoin because I'm all about the stocks and options. But maybe we'll do another video on Bitcoin since everybody's passionate about it. Maybe we'll research it even more and we'll find out that it's money under the mattress. I'm not even getting into it. But everyone that I know that's a Bitcoin trader is like never invested in their life, but they're like experts on like the newest currency. It's interesting. So anyway, GameStop, Robinhood. Here's the thing, guys. Don't be a fool. Don't get caught with your pants down. All right. Mr. Good Hope says, do you think it's too late to place a put on GameStop? Here's the problem with puts on GameStop. Here's the thing. I'm going to log into my my Street Smart Central account, and I'm going to show you the problem with trying to buy puts. Puts are so heavily inflated right now. I'm done talking about Bitcoin. They going to keep trying to get me to go back on Bitcoin. I'm good. Like I'm gonna keep making my money the way I make it. Like you ain't like I don't need to be like a Bitcoin expert. So I'm gonna move on from that. But the question was, is it too late to place a put in GameStop? All right. So let me share my screen and show you what I'm talking about. Cash flow diary. Welcome to the party, by the way. All right. So look at this. If you were to buy a put on GameStop, even a put that expired this Friday, all right, the stock's trading at, what is it trading at after hours? After hours is trading at 311. So if you were to look and try to buy a put on GameStop, I mean, the puts, well, before it closed, I mean, you're paying $36 a put. People are getting juiced, man. So tomorrow, well, this expires tomorrow or today. So that's a horrible way to look at a put. So let's go out a week. But look at the put options. They're charging $77, $80, $100. So technically you could buy an $80 put at $195, but then the stock would have to fall down to about $115 just to break even. So you really gambling. You don't know if tomorrow it's going to be down 153, or you don't know if it's going to do what it did after hours and be back up 118. That's the thing though. And that's the problem with this stock. You're basically going to be gambling and guessing what it's going to do tomorrow. And that is not a strategy. That's not a strategy. Why would you want to put that's like going to the casino. It's a 50-50 bet. Is it going to be up tomorrow or is it going to be down? Some people go get hurt doing that. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Cashflow says stocks and options actually do not give you money. In fact, it's likely you've never used actual money. And if you're willing to actually watch and promote the video, I'll do it. I don't even know what you're talking about. You have to submit money into your brokerage account to buy stocks and options. So I'm not sure. I'm not even sure. Maybe I'm not even sure, man. Maybe you can restate that because I don't even understand fully what you're either saying or asking. I don't know if you're supporting it or debunking it, but I know that I can press a button and do an ACH and a wire transfer immediately, put cash into my account. Period. You got all these crypto babies are like excited. Carla, I'm just having fun. I probably should be asleep. It's like 1:51. So there it is. So let's see here. I think we go wrap up. Mr. Good says, do I use leap options? I do use leap options. Typically, we were using leap options on stocks like Boeing that we knew would eventually come back up because of the airplane industry and because of it would be what they call that, a national security concern for us to allow somebody else to manufacture our planes. So I was using leaps on companies that I like long term, like a Boeing. Those are definitely stocks I like to do leaps. Swift T said, how's Detroit, bro, doing? I'm doing great. Ford going to get into the EV market. Ford might get into the EV market, but Ford isn't the horse that I would put my money on. I like Lee. I like NIO. Even GM is looking better with the partnership with Microsoft over Ford. So, but I wouldn't count Ford out. A rising tide lifts all boats. And so, next thing you know, Harley Davidson gonna get in the game with an electric motorcycle. So, I mean, I think everybody's gonna get into the game at some point with electric, and it's just gonna be the thing. Red Godzilla says, "What platform do I use?" I use Charles Schwab. I use Street Smart Ed and Street Smart Central mostly. Cashflow says he's willing to make. I'm willing to make a video on Bitcoin. Oh, all right. Make a video. I mean, I think it would be a good video, especially if you got your own YouTube channel. I mean, clearly people are fired up about the coin, so definitely make a video, come back, drop it in the comments or shoot it over. Let's talk about it. Let's watch it. I just gave my opinion on Ford. Somebody else asked the opinion on Ford. So that's my thoughts on Ford. So here's the thing. I will take this last super chat. DC said GNE is 193.56 on WEBULL right now. Harley Davidson does have an electric motorcycle. What's GNE? Let's take a look at ticker symbol GNE. I don't know what GNE is. You must mean a different ticker symbol, unless you meant GME. Yeah, maybe you meant GME at 193.56. But I think electric is the future, So if you go be in something electric. What's my biggest holding right now? Man, I can't tell you that. I released that inside the membership on my biggest holding. So, but I'm sitting on, you will see. I'll let you know when I do the case study once I exit it. If I learn one thing, you said GME, yeah, GameStop. If I learn anything from these people with the whole short list, is to not reveal your stocks that you're shorting or your stocks that you're buying, because who knows if somebody want to punish you. So anyway, Thanks for rocking with your boy. I was sleepy. I'm glad I stayed up. We hung out tonight. Let's take the comments. Let's take. Whoa, 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 whoa. These super chats are. Here we go. We'll put cash flow says, I'm not concerned about all the people. I'm saying that after my video, you will buy Bitcoin. Cash flow, man, hey, respect. He super chatted to put that up there. So that's what's up. Shoot us the video. Let's see what's up with Bitcoin. If I become a believer, I will let them know it was I became a believer because of cash flow. I'm gonna put them back up there again. If I become a believer, it'll be because of you. So shoot a video on Bitcoin and then let me know. Because everybody I've seen in Bitcoin literally don't know how to pull money out. All right. So let's take the comments below in the comment section of the video. Let's continue the conversation. Is GameStop a scam? Do the government really care about you? Should Robinhood be able to limit and stop people from allowing them to trade the stock? Who's going to be left holding the bag by the time earnings come out, or when it's hot potato and the music stops playing? Somebody go get left with the hot potato and they pockets go get burned. There it is. Don't be the one that get burned. I'll see you in the comments. Thanks for hanging out with me.